Hey y'all, how you doing? I am well, and I wanted to talk to you all about the past. Not my past in particular, but just the concept of the past. I'm part of a wellness community, and we have been doing watch parties, and we watched the movie Eve's Bayou recently, and there's a line in the movie.
But the truth changes color, depending on the light, and tomorrow can be clearer than yesterday. Memory is a selection of images, some elusive, others printed indelibly on the brain. Each image is like a thread, each thread woven together to make a tapestry of intricate texture. And the tapestry tells a story, and the story is our past.
It had me thinking about the past. It's something I've been pondering for quite a while as I went through my cancer journey, especially the roughest part of being in chemotherapy. What kept coming to me is the importance of being present. I'm someone who has lived in the past a lot. I used to be that friend who would always say, remember when this happened? Remember when that happened? I had a lot of friendships really just based on memory or based on positive memories or experiences. But when you looked at the present, what was really there? Not that much, right? I remember a friend saying to me one time, like, yeah, that already happened. Stop living in the past. And I took offense. And that was years ago, y'all. But I've since started looking at the past as something different. Books that I've been reading have exposed that the past ain't real, y'all. Let me explain what I mean. I recently read over the summer with my book club the book The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and that is the follow-up to the book The Secret. And in that book, which is all about awareness, spoiler alert, the greatest secret is being aware. But in that book, one of the things that is pointed out is that the past is not a real thing. The past is our memories. The past is intangible. Can you hold the past? Can you pull it up and replay the past? Unless it's on recording, it ain't there, y'all. And even if it is, it's from a specific vantage point. So in thinking about the past is whatever story the person who was involved in it wants it to be, however they tell it. You always hear that quote, there are three sides to every story. This person's side, that person's side, and the truth, right? But the truth really changes depending on the light, like Eve's Bayou said, or depending on the person who the past is being told by. We always know, like even when we look at history, history is told by the victors. History ain't always the truth. I mean, look at textbooks that are calling enslaved people migrant workers. Migrant? Indentured? What? Migrant workers. History is written by the victors, so even the past and official history depends on who is telling the story. So for me as a writer, one of the ways that I tend to create is by doing free writes. I'll either explore a question or a sentence that I have to complete the end of, or listen to a song and write what inspires me. So I did the question, what is the past? And I shared it on social media and asked people to respond to that question. So let me share what I wrote with y'all. What is the past? To me, the past is a collection of images attached to memories that I choose to be. Wind drafts that slam doors of reality. Comforting. Nostalgia warms my body like a hot toddy, and I drink my own Kool-Aid with a glass straw. I may not have control of the present or the future, but the past? That's my dog. When I talk about him, he agrees with me, even if what I'm saying ain't what he's seen. We co-defendants, battling against plaintiffs, judges handing out maximum sentences, witnesses testifying. Why does it feel like everyone's lying? Oh, the past is closing statements, and the jury is my fury, my pain, my perspective. I'm done with all this court shit. Right now, I'm free, and that's how I will stay until eternity, by living in what's in front of me. What is the past? Wind that is violent or soft, depending on who you ask. You know, upon seeing the responses that I got, I realized the past ain't always bad, but for me, living in the present is so much better. I realized that the past takes you out of the present moment. And it makes you judge the present moment through the lens of what happened before, which is not always what's going to happen. That's how we measure our lives, right? How we measure our experiences. What happened in the past we think is going to happen again. And we already have fixed in our mind that this is how this is going to go down, so I don't even have to pay attention. But then you do have to pay attention because things will slip past you. And that's the reason why we ask ourselves sometimes, like, how come I didn't see that coming? Because we assumed we knew what was coming. That's the thing about the past, right? The future is also imagined circumstance. The future is projected based on what we think is going to happen again, instead of being trapped in the past, which usually is tied to regret or longing for me, or nostalgia, the wishing for a better time. But that better time is colored by how negative the current time is, not actually how great it was. You know how we misremember stuff? It's always funny to me. Like, example, folks who grew up getting whoopings by their parents often will laugh about it and think it's funny. Like,
Oh, I had to get a switch off the tree. My mama was beating me with belts and hangers and extension cords.
that's traumatic. That's trauma, but we laugh through the trauma. Black folks do that a lot. It's looked at through funny lenses, when at the time, as children, that ish was not funny. Thankfully, I was not hit with objects and things like that. I could count on one hand the amount of times I was spanked. But even though I could look back and be like, yeah, I deserve that shit. Like, it's not hilarious. How we want to process things determines how we remember them and how we speak about them. So I'm curious, what do y'all think about the past? Do you think the past is real? Do you think this is all BS, esoteric BS, or is it something else? I'm curious about y'all's answer to the question. I'm interested in just exploring other people's thoughts. I've been in such an insular bubble for a long time, ever since the panty happened, and I've been inside. Y'all, I don't be outside like that. I love my house. This is my haven. So I'm trying to interface with more people and get more folks involved in my art. So I'm curious about what y'all think. I might write something inspired by what you write in the comments. We'll see. Just let me know what your thoughts are about the past, and I will holla at y'all later. Take care. Bye.